the disquiet of self-contemplation, one might ponder, why does it feel so arduous to evade vice's snare and nurture virtue's bounty? And in that instant of candid vulnerability, we recognize a common human ordeal, endeavoring towards self-refinement, yet stumbling frequently along the way. For each clinging vice first slipped in softly, a convenient comfort for deeper despair. Deceptively harmless initially, cunning in how it laid roots before we noticed its hold interlaced into daily life's fabric. Tearing it out then seems to cleave out part of oneself, so enmeshed has its grasp become. Attempting positive change is like tending stubborn soil resistant to cultivation. We scatter seeds of ambition, only to meet barren futility when too often naught seems to sprout. Despite devoted nurturing, those seeds of better tomorrows appear not to thrive. Such fruitlessness levies a toll on motivation's reserves. Yet herein lies an obscured but crucial insight. Defeat does not spell finale, but instead shapes the unfolding journey. With every fall, then rise again. Progress accrues. Each collapse illuminates the cause behind stumbling, educates to sidestep that pitfall in days forthcoming. Consider obstacles tripped upon before first steps taken. Multitudes of falls preceding walking success. Such loss represents essential tuition for eventual growth. Excruciating, yet invaluable. Revel then in wearing failures as honors, evidence of persevering mightily in ascent towards heights of human potential. In this period, drunk on instant delight and swarming with diversions, practicing self-restraint now drifts beyond many's discipline, a craft treasured by few yet relevance never greeter. Discipline serves as conduit between desires conceived and their achievement. The invisibly lattice weaving accomplishments enduring. Today we contend also with distraction deluge, perpetually pinging phones, social media's magnetism, the soaring pressures to stay tethered online always. Maintaining focus resembles sailing through hurricane winds and walls of waves. And yet it is within the storm itself that discipline gleams, not mere skill, but inner superpower laying dormant. Consider star athletes, for every public moment glorified under stadium's lights, nameless hours past training in dawn shadows. The wider world slumbers while early stillness witnesses the honing of excellence. Or reflect upon writers and artists whose works first find acclaim only after wrestling the unruly fertility of invention's chaos firsthand. Embracing self-restraint rarely arrives through ease. It demands rather daily opting the steep and narrow way, rising early for runs while comfort keeps others blanketed, studying when screens beckon attention elsewhere, or consciously laboring upon one's craft though progress inchworm slow. Discipline signifies solemn pact with self, the inner voice reminding of purpose when surroundings summon immediate satisfaction. Yes, faltering days will arise when convenience whispers alluring compromise, but discipline asks not perfection. Its essence lies in persistence, retracing steps however far astray tread. Each time standing up after defeat's knockdown, inner compass recalibrated back towards true north. Every disciplined stride laid further calcifies self-command's fortress. When exhaustion weighs heavy, recall this personal odyssey carving mind, body, and soul ever more closely towards enacted ideals. Discipline gifts opportunity to transcend present bounds and deliberately shape fate by force of focused will. Here we explore 5 strategies grounded in Stoic thought for cultivating discipline's strong roots, to overcome selfish impulses and nourish self-mastery. The initial step entails delineating guiding principles, the bedrock upon which discipline's fortress shall be erected over time. This task's gravity cannot be overstated, for these tenets will form the foundation of resolute character hewn. Earnest exploration of values is requisite, questioning sincerely which standards to live by and what aims justify discipline's steep demands. Whether adopting Stoicism's 4 cardinal virtues, practical wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, or personal credos resonant to your distinct inspirations and life's nuances, firmly etching these into consciousness proves paramount. Once your pillars stand clearly defined, commitment must follow towards aligning actions daily to these chosen guidelines. Here discipline's seeds truly take root. Principles declared but untested through mundane life's repetitions ring hollow, vulnerable to collapse when storms arise. Stoics derive routine's resilient strength from strict adherence to their philosophy's tenets lifetimes over. Each choice becomes a vote for one's envisioned ideal self-made manifest. Discipline takes shape thereby through consistent acts, not sporadic deeds in isolation. The strain of early meditation, despite allure of further sleep. Truth-telling when convenient lies beckon. Persisting through mounting obstacles or repeated failures wearing confidence thin. Though visible returns for such harmony between beliefs and behavior may not swiftly arise, modernity's impatience imperils authentic progress' slow accretion. Stoic discipline turns its back on fleeting gratification, nurturing instead the crops of self-command that shall endure seasons of scarcity and storm alike. One brick laid steadfastly upon the next evolves gradually into redoubt impregnable against temptation's siege. To truly harness motivation's fire through action first calls for radical self-honesty. What deeper longings drive this pursuit of discipline? What voids exist within that it shall fill? For discipline as an end unto itself risks joyless legalism and repression. It ignites enduring only when aligned to values flowing from one's being. When embarking each new sunrise, clarifying direction through quiet contemplation helps steer the day's passage with purpose and care. In down soft light and silence before clamor creeps and dwells a potent space for brewing focus. Here discipline repens by first asking, what principles shall guide, what virtues direct each step through the hours forthcoming? By crystallizing aims thusly, then aligning conduct accordingly when the sun breaches horizon, actions resonate deeper, upholding values amid turmoil, concentrating upon priorities not diverted. Anchoring at dawn grounds the day's voyage centered firmly on purpose despite storm or calm ahead. In pursuing self-restraint, patterns enable progress. Scaffolding supporting reach far beyond limits presumed. Constructing personal routines lays a foundation and fortress both against the unpredictability of life's waves and winds. Far more than mere habit sequences stamped in by repetition, they sculpt space held sacred through choiceful deeds, asserting mastery over how attention and energies flow, versus drifting external chaos. To outline consistent structures earns privilege of commanding dawn and dusk's arrival with deliberate order intended. Activities harmonized to one's deepest purpose. Sheltering tranquility, welcoming each daybreak, reserving evenings for restorative restoration. Upholding such rhythm builds resilience through repetition, meeting resistance. Challenges will arise, duties overburden while crisis risks plans capsizing abruptly. Yet anchoring in routine stabilizes against overwhelm's storms. Its power breathes not in rigid inflexibility but conscious application of flexibility when conditions demand. True adherence bends but does not break. Adjustments often prove crucial to restoring equilibrium when destabilized for a time. On days which vulnerability or obligations weigh heavy, familiar forms comfort, trusted guides back to purpose once lost in fog. Turbulence tests metal while moving straightly through channels strength deeper into muscle and bone. Progress requires careful investment of scarce motivation upon facets within reach, dismissing what exceeds control's grasp. Most events unfold as they please regardless human dictates. Others' actions follow individual nature. Obsession over what ignores our wishes risks spirit-draining futility. Building discipline instead asks strategic withdrawal from external noise, no longer permitting online notifications to dictate attention's flow, refusing societal scripts determining self-appraisal. Such training counters information flood with purposeful questioning. What here empowers me? If beyond influence, the art of letting go proves essential. Releasing rigid attachment signals not apathy but conserving precious energy for worthwhile battles we can sway through focus measured and unwavering. Genuine challenges met stretch capacity grandly. Attempts overwhelmed by fixating on all which remains ever uncertain will only exhaust motivation's reserves. Choosing intentionally where to invest scarce will generate fertile soil, enabling disciplined habits' roots to delve deeper. Here, efforts align to echo loudest values and access higher faculties of human potential. In the longer walk of self-transformation, Reflecting periodically upon terrain crossed accelerates and steers straight the trajectory. As stimulation diminishes into evening's embrace, taking account of milestones passed illumines the way, from persevering beyond prior presumed limits to catching unconscious patterns now illuminated. Even tiny gains made mindful reminds that discipline unfolds through compound effort. Each small step laid securing foundations to support those greater coming. Falterings transform through compassionate eyes, not into failures, shrinking resolve, but teachers revealing where alignment faltered and how to course correct truer going forth. Such consistent rhythms of honest self-review reap wisdom from both achievements and falls, sunset and dawn, offering opportunities to realign commitment. Pausing on the path at this point to take conscious stock, what specific actions or perspectives may focus attention and will to channel Stoicism's principles towards purpose with integrity? Please share any reactions and inspirations sparked below. For those seeking deeper engagement with Stoic thought as a wellspring for self-mastery, a portal awaits to continue our shared quest forward. By entering the enduring words of Marcus Aurelius, "Await within." The miracle of being alive here together endures as the mystery each breath celebrates.